things aren't as dreadful as they might look. Part of the definition of an entrepreneur is someone who's willing to charge headfirst into a situation, totally unprepared, unarmed, inexperienced, and yet still make the best of it.
Growing up, Ken Zolot often felt hindered by his devilish curiosity. But it was this restless creativity, coupled with a nuanced understanding of consumer expectations, that helped him create companies like eGenera and Heartland Robotics. Ken continues to stretch the boundaries of innovation at the Kauffman Foundation, where he mentors aspiring entrepreneurs, teaching them to blend their technical skills with an understanding of human relationships.
I think some of the same things that may be behind what's made me effective in the world, sort of devilish curiosity, if you will, a refusal to play by the rules, a restlessness, troubles with attention span. As a child in school, those were severely debilitating at times, especially when dealing with a school system and certain, who I now call the meanest people in the world, teachers, who said, you'll sit straight and you'll do your worksheets the way you're told. That I really felt in a state of conflict with. And I often, even though I could on one hand think I was just kind of being cute and creative about things, on the other hand there was a side of me that felt like I was not getting by properly. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. I was a misfit. I couldn't do what the other kids were doing right. And in many ways struggled because half of me sort of enjoyed being a rule breaker and a troublemaker, and the other half of me sort of felt like I was maybe missing something and was not performing adequately. And I think to this day that is still living with me. Well, my parents had really strong values of accountability, which were instilled in the whole family. And this notion that everybody is special and accountable to one another, and that we're human beings connected in an inseparable way, is something that I think expands to the world of commerce very naturally. That ultimately you're doing business with human beings, you're hiring human beings, and understanding what's really the connection, what's really the driving force behind someone's motivation, and what energizes them and excites them, and how you can help that person and be reliable for that person, is at the center of any successful business person. I think that also translates to some tactical traits like being punctual and being responsive and noticing when things aren't right. If there's a picture crooked on the wall, very subtle things that you might not think are the most complex technology strategy issues, but anybody can solve technology strategy issues. Making sure the place is well tended to and that the people are well tended to, I think, is more important. Well, I would also stress the importance of regularly asking the question, who cares? And this is a more tactical market entry strategy question. It's very easy to become enthralled with your venture or your technology and think that, well, surely this is going to take over the world, or surely everyone must want this. And ask yourself in a very piecemeal way, okay, who cares exactly and why? And who are these people, and what exactly are they going through in their lives, whether it be an individual consumer or a corporate buyer or a whole complex bureaucracy you have to sell into. What are the real, what's really keeping these people up at night, or what is the real problem you're solving of theirs? Not why are you so special and why is your technology so marvelous, but how are you really interacting with that person or that organization's daily struggles, and what are the complexities of the way that person or that organization operates that you really need to understand. And so there's a form of empathy required there with the partners you're trying to interact with. Anytime you're trying to bring to market something disruptive, you by definition want to break the rules. The question is just how far you go with it and whether the market is really ready to accept it. And there's a very thin line between someone who is passionately committed to a brilliant vision and someone who is insanely obsessed with a figment of his own imagination. And it's very hard to know where that line is. It's not clear you ever can know. You just really have the guts to stick it out and hope that you're right. And I keep coming back. Everyone's talked in entrepreneurship about Henry Ford's famous quote that if he had asked his customers what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. And in some sense, it was crazy of him to not talk to his customers and to follow something that he believed was really the right path. And so you've always got to want to push yourself just to that edge of breaking enough rules to show your customers what they should want, while at the same time not being so dense that you're failing to listen to feedback from the market.